I've developed a bad habit of doing that. And then I'm going to gain a lot more damage. The beautiful thing about this character is I don't think his projectiles bounce anyway, so I can completely ignore things like that. So we went from 30 to I believe 50 damage, which is a big increase, and we're doing quite a few crits already. Oh, I guess we'll take much more damage again. The game just really wants me to have big upgrades, so now we're doing 80 damage. Could probably use some more attack speed. Also, we could have damage or affect the area of effect by 40%. I think we're actually going to take that. We'll have some area effect at some point, and the bigger our stuff's going, obviously, the better it is for us and worse for the enemies. Oh, what? No more golden upgrades? I guess I'll just take more damage. So we're up to 95 damage now per shot. On crits that's doubled, and now we get one of these. Shoot an orbiting projectile regularly. That's going to happen every 4 seconds, so that's going to feel pretty good. If we get our cooldown better, then that's going to show up all the more often, and our area effect definitely affects that. So I think I'll just take my crits to 100% more damage out of these choices. So instead of double damage now, it's 3 times damage. Increase crit chance by another 5%. Once we start to get a few more items, we'll figure out exactly what it is we want to build. For now, I'll just take attack speed because that's not going to hurt anything. And that was a 30% increase to our attack speed. Basically a 30% increase to DPS. And we're melting the blanket pretty quickly. We didn't even hit it with a crit. There's a lot here that I like. I think I'm just going to permanently gain 10% attack speed every 2 minutes. So as long as I don't get hit for 10 minutes, we'll get a big increase. Okay, we're going to do a little bit more attack speed again. This probably isn't going to be a super attack speed build. We might just go for cooldowns. But we'll just kind of roll with what the game gives us. 10% crit chance, I'll take that. We have a 35% crit chance, so 1 in 3 already is a crit. I kind of like both of these. Area effect big. I probably will take this for now because it's purple. But by now we have decent like damage output. And we're only level 13, so we have plenty of upgrades to go. Alright, of all these choices here, let's just increase our crit chance by another 10%. So now it's basically 1 in 2 is a crit. And that includes, I think, all of our attacks. Like, as long as we're hurting an enemy, it now has a 1 in 2 chance to be a crit, which does 3 times damage, so case in point, he died. We could actually just straight up increase ourselves to 100% crit chance already, which we actually might. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Dodge the fireball, so 100% crit chance. It was actually 105, but that doesn't exist. So everything I do is a crit now. So we're going to do crits to 150% more damage for now, just because that's going to add a ton of extra damage to us. Everything we're doing is 214 or 143, depending on what we're touching. We do need bigger area though. I want my swirly thing to get bigger. We're going to be the most dangerous tornado in the entire universe by the time I'm done with this. Raise the range of your area effect and pick up range by 20%. This will also help me pick up power-ups a lot easier because every time we do a 20% increase, that's going to get really big. And I like it better when I can just kind of stand around and wait for stuff to happen. 100% crit chance, so with a little bit of damage and a whole bunch of crit damage, this will be really deadly. There's a lot of here I like. Raise the range of the area effect and pick up range by another 30% on top of everything, so we're already picking things up from a long ways away. What does this guy think of my damage? He seems to like it. Couple hits, he's dead. Oh, this works nicely with us. Emit an aura that damages enemies near you periodically for 25% of damage. We just need to make sure our damage is up there. But we can also make it bigger. Raise the range of the area effect by another 30%, so now enemies don't have to come anywhere near us to get hurt by that. And look how far out the throwing stars go now. This is going to get fun. I don't actually have to hit them with my regular attack anymore. I can just use these like a buzzsaw. I guess crits deal 100% more damage. 550% crits. Another level up, we have all sorts of fun choices. Reduce the cooldown abilities by 10%, yes. This is one that I kind of maybe shouldn't have divided my damage on. I don't know if the crits actually work for the powder thing, probably does. But it's going to go a lot, like it's going to hit a lot of enemies. Reduce the cooldowns of dashing abilities by another 15%. So they're now at 75% of their original time, and there, that's how fast we killed that thing. Permanently raises your attack speed by 30%. Half of your shots are less precise, that doesn't matter, because now we're firing this a lot quicker. I do need to put some damage back on though, because that's going to help my onion powder thing. It's already killing things pretty well, but it could be doing a little better. Bounces don't help. I don't really love any of these, so I'm just going to take more crit damage. And I'm pretty sure my aura can do crits. It's doing 77 like every quarter of a second or something at this point. So that's going to add up a lot for the enemies that are close, especially if we get an aura to slow them down, because they'll get slowed down way out away from me, and they'll slowly take damage from my onion getting close. I'm going to murder so many things using simply an onion. Let's reduce the cooldown of dashing abilities by another 10%, so they now have a 30% reduction from where they started, which is actually quite big. I'm going to gain 3 rerolls for object choices. We don't get a ton of object choices, so we're going to make those count. I want some more gold ones. Definitely gonna need to tack on some more damage though. Our regular attack does fine, but our aura needs to be doing better than it is. Do we keep doing the dashes and cooldowns? Yeah, let's do that again. Here's what I've been looking for. Gain much more damage. We went from 48 to 62. So that increases our aura and basically everything. The aura really does kind of pop things at this point. And those guys I can pretty much just walk around and they melt. Okay, since they're all blue upgrades anyway, reduce the cooldowns of dashes and abilities by another 10%. So now everything's going about half as often as it normally will. So that's a pretty big increase. So like our onion aura thing goes off every quarter of a second. So it's hitting 4 times a second for my damage, which is going to be quite a lot. And I can just walk in big old circles and just pick up everything and murder everything. It's very efficient. Let's raise the area effect and pick up range another 20%, because I think those are going to start to get really, really big. Like the circles are already big, so 10% now should mean a lot more than it used to. But again, I might be wrong about how that works. The DPS on this is going to be pretty wild though, considering how many enemies we can hit. We're not relying on hitting them with our projectiles, we're just walking near them. They're starting to become a little more numerous now. Hopefully we get something... Reduce the cooldown or dashes and abilities by 10%. The problem with this one is it's diminishing. Before this would have been a 10% increase overall, now it's about a 5% increase. But I'll still take that because we have a 50% reduction in how often things happen. And it's time for the sheriff. So, oh yeah, it's this guy. I kind of forgot this thing exists. So we just kind of walk around near it. And yeah, this is actually going to be easy because normally we have to annoyingly fight everything. I just need to sort of walk near things and they'll all die. I think we got it about dead. Yeah, it's done. Look at all the fun stuff. When your projectiles don't crit, they pierce. Well, they all do. Interesting. Does that mean those endlessly pierce now? I'm probably going to take that just based on that. I know it's not really the best build for it, but we have 100% pierce, so I think like whatever I do put out there will just endlessly pierce. I don't know if that applies to my circle things, because I'm pretty sure they're getting eaten up along the way as things walk into them. Oh, I just realized how far my attack is going too. I didn't realize my area of effect would affect that, so that's a happy also bonus. So if I could fire more of those, actually, we could have a really sort of aura of death. Nothing would be able to get close to us, I think. Basically, we need more damage. The next upgrade, do we need attack speed? I don't know if we really do. That's a fun upgrade and all. I kind of want to do the area of effect again. Like, it really sucks to not pick that up. It seems strange to do that. But, I mean, look how fast we just killed that guy. And I don't love any of these, so that means obviously when we roll, we're going to get something. Well, for each current health, deal 10% damage and move 5% slower, so that put me a big damage increase. And if we stack some health, that's going to be easy damage. The more damage we have, the more damage everything else is going to do. Coming up on level 30, does that mean we get something... Wow, we get a lot of special stuff at level 30. Okay, let's increase the range of area effect and pick up range by 30% again. That means when this guy shows up, we can absolutely melt him just from our aura. I don't necessarily love any of these. That might actually be a really big area damage. I might actually take that, because if the area grows with everything else, that might actually just, yeah, do really, really big damage overall. Don't know, but I'm going to go for anything that does area damage, because obviously our area damage is so big I'd be stupid to ignore any of those. There's really not a lot of enemies to kill. Ooh, raise the area effect by another 30%. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make it big. If we ever get the thing where we kill enemies and they explode, that's going to do really well for us. There's 2 here that I like. Probably augments your damage by 20%. Projectiles are slower. Projectiles don't matter, but even in order to slow enemies nearly by 50%, I also want that. Well, let's take the slower enemies for now, because they're not going to get anywhere close to me before they're slowing down. And once they're in the slow aura, they're also in the onion aura, so they slow and take massive damage. This is a very, very strange build. I just wander around and everything dies, and it feels like there's not even anything on screen for me to kill anymore. And I need to remember that adding health is also going to add damage at this point too. It might be my most efficient way to add damage. Not sure about this one's going to make the game lag too, but maybe sufficiently bad. And another power up. What do we want now? None of these are actually super great. I might just take 2 dashes because I know those are going to come in handy eventually. Eventually when the enemies do get tough, and there are a lot of them, it is going to be tough to keep them off of me. The aura will hopefully be able to kill them for a long time. But if the damage does fall off, we might get in trouble. Well, don't love any of these, so let's just go to the range again. Now our circling things are pretty much at the edge of the screen. So if we stand here, I'm pretty sure things die before they even get a chance to fire their projectiles. We have more range than the ranged enemies. And you can even see our circle of pickup at this point. It's kind of a circle of death. There's nothing going to cross that line for very long before getting absolutely dead. Alright, let's go for a walk because I get bored of standing there. I've had too much coffee for standing still. That's not how life works. Oh, we're also going to fight him now too. It might be hard to hit him with everything all at once. Does that work? Are we killing him? Yeah, we're killing him pretty quick. Haven't upgraded my speed or anything yet either. If we sit here, can you just die really quick? That was a little bit closer than I would have liked, but our aura is melting him. I'm melting him. I think he's dead. Yep, before he even cycled. Your next shot deals 2 times damage and bursts into multiple projectiles, but divide your attack speed by 2. Well, given our cooldown, that's probably actually going to be a good one. I think, because if those are also based on area size, that's going to be big for us. Attack speed would be nice. We kind of need damage, but that's a basic damage, so let's just reduce our cooldowns another 10%. The faster we can get that stuff going off, the better. Oh, there goes our cactus things too. Yeah, they come back to me and then they fan out on their own. I don't know if I can actually make my area size any bigger. I think if I do, it's going to get wasted because it's going off the screen. I don't need to be doing damage off screen. I need to be doing damage on these idiots. They definitely are getting tougher though. They're not melting quite as quick as they used to, and that's going to be trouble. But as always, we'll just find a way to keep on getting more and more damage. So I guess we'll raise our maximum health by 1, which also added 7 damage, which doesn't sound like a lot, but with all the things factoring into that, like, it's a lot of damage. Also, shooting behind you is probably a good one right now. I realize I'm not relying a lot on my basic projectiles, but something is happening here that I think I like. So I think our cactuses are going out, coming back to us, and then exploding, but they're doing it fairly often because our cooldown is so low. I do need explosions on crits though. That would be extra damage again, because everything we're doing is a crit. And besides the explosions, we're probably what we're doing, and I'm all for that. And we got another power up. Reduce the cooldowns of dashes and abilities by 15%, which isn't actually going to be that much, but we're down to things are taking 38.4% of the time they initially did. So that means like Onion Aura DPS is proccing a lot. Like, look at that guy. That was at whatever, and he didn't even get close. Permanently augments your damage by 30%, reduces your attack speed by 20. That's probably fine. Because our Onion is where the damage is coming from, and the Onion is based on cooldown, so our attack speed shouldn't matter. I don't really know what we've done, but we've created something very dangerous. Yeah, I'm not really sure what it is I built, but it's working great. Things can definitely not get anywhere close to me yet. I want more deputies to show up because I want their stuff. Okay, here comes another deputy. So that means enemies did get just a little bit closer. They're still not going to get close enough to hit me, but the deputy was close. Got it. Deal 30% damage each time your projectiles inflict a critical strike. Reduces my damage by 30%, but everything's going to be an exploding crit now. Like everything. So that's just for the damage. We'll put the damage back on, but for now, I mean, even just the basic damage at this point is pretty big. That wasn't quite a 10% increase, but every little damage increase is just going to go bananas now because it's going to stack onto so many different things. I do now also want the one where like enemies, they'll move faster but they'll take more damage because we'll slow them down anyway. They won't get close to me, but taking double damage will be even funnier. 10% cooldown would be cool. I want another 1 health. That's going to add another 6 damage anyway, which again isn't quite 10%, but every little bit's going to count. And there's also a lot of hearts on the ground, so when I need a little bit of help, I can go pick those up. This guy's definitely surviving for a little while. I don't love any of these, so we're going to reroll. None of these are super great. Attract your collectibles from further away is probably good because it's already such a big area, like I'm pretty much going to pick up the whole screen. And that's going to mean I don't need as much movement speed. I won't need to move a lot to collect the entire screen. So I'll probably take more health at this point. Now we're up to almost 100 base damage again, which is more explosive damage, more projectile damage, more crit damage, and more aura damage. I also want the faster enemy things so they come to me quicker and die quicker, because we're at a $95,000 bounty now. I want a 10 times the big bounty. Here comes the mole. The mole did manage to drop TNT on me, but he's going to die because he's going to run very slowly toward me now. I guess I'm going to improve the rerolls for upgrade choices. They're going to get harder and harder to get, so that way I'll just make sure each one counts better. So far things get like just to the edge of my aura, my spinning blades, and they touch that, then everything explodes, and then they all start to slippery slope it down. They'll eventually get sucked into the money bags anyway, and then drawn into me from there. Oh, here comes Hook Hands. Hook Hands is going to get razor bladed, then it's going to hit my aura. Hook Hands is a little bit tough, but we'll be okay with this. Especially because we'll eventually get the perk where we always target the deputy, and while we're doing that, we're getting more power-ups. We can target whatever, because it's an aura anyway. I guess your projectiles slow down any enemies they touch, so anything that gets touched is going to go very slow. And going slow in my aura means they die. Okay, we're going to take more damage again. 120 base damage, you can read the numbers for yourself. I never had a build where I could just sit here and kill everything. I don't even have to try, and I'm even improving the money so I can literally stand here. I would really like to stop getting those in gold. Can I get damage in gold, please? Oh, it'd be kind of a shame not to take this. Increase the range of everything by another 40%? Why not? We're just gonna do it. I'm gonna take this, reduce the cooldown of your dash by 30%. We also do damage by dashing through them, but that means my dashes are gonna come back really quick now, because they're already reduced by about 60%, and there's 30% on top of that. And here comes another deputy. I've hardly noticed because I'm just sitting here watching explosions go off, trying not to have a seizure. Oh, he actually hit us there. Okay, we're gonna re-roll these as much as that golden shield thing is interesting. There we go. Gain a lot more damage. 120 to 135. So it's over a 10% increase. That's a lot of explosions. The game is not loving that super much. But that's why I'm here. Something's gonna melt, whether it's a game or my computer, we'll find out soon. When you stay still, periodically fire projectiles around you. There's a 6-second cooldown on that. That's gonna be quicker than 6 seconds because the cooldown reduction I have. So that just means basically even more aura of death. There's even more projectiles going out that do crits that do explosions on top of that. So the game's slowing down quite a bit. Every once in a while there's just sort of this explosion, then everything disappears, then the enemies appear, the game lags, and then there's another explosion. Let's reduce the cooldowns of dashes and abilities a further 10%. So now they're at 35% of what they started at. This is a fun upgrade, but this doesn't work with my build. Shoot 4 times faster, but 3 times less damage. We're not an attack system. This one, however, permanently augments your damage by 20%. Projectiles are slower, but now we're up to 160 base damage. That means the onion aura is stronger. Slower projectiles don't matter, because I'm pretty sure they pierce if they're a crit, they also explode anyway. There's a little stone man coming toward me. I've turned the explosion effect off, like we can't see it now, to hopefully make the game not die, but it's still struggling pretty hard, just because it's calculating everything going on. But just remember that there are explosions going off everywhere, that's why things are dying. They're just invisible explosions. Always target deputies, gradually increasing your damage and attack speed until it dies or is out of screen. That's fine, like I said anyway, because we're always attacking all enemies anyway. Oh, you shouldn't have. There's higher crits, but maximum health by 2. That put us from 160 to 182 damage, which is, again, a big increase. And that seems to be able to hold them back pretty nicely. Oh, the mole TNT is going to be really hard to avoid. Luckily, we're standing on, like, unlimited health. But, yeah, this is going to be annoying quick. Enemies around you 30% faster, take 50% more damage. So they're going to melt even easier now, and they're also going to fuel me faster. More upgrades quicker. They do manage to make it a little closer, but I'm okay with that because that keeps it exciting. And here comes another mole who's going to annoyingly throw TNT at me for a second. So I'm just going to kind of, do what I normally do and slowly avoid him here and there. I guess we'll deal 50% more damage, and cooldowns are further reduced when we're below half health. That's actually going to be kind of bananas. Like if we go below half health, our onion aura is going to go nuts. So let's reduce the cooldown of dashes and abilities another 15%. So we're below 30% of where we started with cooldowns. That means things are having even more trouble getting close to me. Yeah, there's also deputy on screen. It's actually going to be a little bit hard to do this because we're getting so few frames per second. Or we're getting so few seconds per frame is probably more accurate at this point. We're just gonna leave Night Pants here in the big old circle. He's too stupid to figure it out anyway. Uh-oh. Oh, we're getting surrounded really actually. Pretty thoroughly there. Okay, well, hold still for a second. That should actually... We need to fire those projectiles out like we do. It's just hard to see what's going on. I don't know how much health they have at this point, but it's obviously quite a lot. I'm just gonna tank through some hits because I don't care. Triples your shot, but permanently reduces your attack speed by 40%. We could also deal area damage before you dash. Well, I think the triple shot is going to be more interesting to us, because I think we'll fire more cactuses, which is more area damage again. And therefore more explosions, and more slowing enemies down, and more everything. Okay, that thing's dead. Hopefully it drops us something amazing. I guess whenever you take 2 damage in a row, heal for 2 health. The cooldown on that is 60 seconds, but because we're down to 30% of our original thing, that's more like 18 seconds. I can't tell if there's a deputy on screen or not, but our damage is going up for some reason, so there might be a deputy making his way on screen. He just has... Oh, there he is. There is one. It's just so very hard to see past all this crap. I guess I'm just going to take this. Fire projectiles around you upon taking damage, gain 1 max health, because that added 10 damage because of that health. And here comes another one of the idiots who's going to walk right into my aura and slowly die. I'll wait right here. The game might not let this happen. It pretty well locked up there, so we'll see. And he's dead apparently. We managed to kill him. Deal area damage before you dash. Is that as big as I think it's gonna be? Like if I dash... Oh, it is. Look at the size of it. We can hurt things just by doing that. And look how fast the dash comes back. It's like a fraction of a second. So we can dash, 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 and then it'll recover. Where's 1, 2, wait, no, the game is lagging, but you get the idea, it's quick. And then I can do that when I need to try and avoid projectiles, I suppose. Okay, crits do 100% more damage. Since all we're doing is crits anyway, that's gonna help. The mole is back. We could actually do the healing dash too, probably at this point, because dashes are coming back really fast. Dashing doesn't work on moles, he just disappears for some reason. We're just gonna tank him. Deal 4 times damage upon taking damage, gain 1 max health, which gives us damage. So when we do take damage, the explosion is so big it wipes the entire screen. I forgot like how screwy it is by just making things bigger in games. It always has like really weird adverse effects. We're about to get TNT'd, but we're just going to wipe the screen because of it. The game is very likely to get up soon, because when everything goes off like that, it's just about frozen. Oh, we have a second deputy on screen too. Great, that's going to slow things down even worse. Okay, the mole is very close to dead. But that keeps happening, so it goes off screen. We're running out of hearts too, because we keep blowing everything up, but we took quick. Okay, the mole died. That took a long time. I wonder if the rotating shields got bigger with size. Nope, they're regular size shields. But at least now that the mole's gone, we do have 4 other deputies on screen, but the mole's going to cause less frequent explosions like this, which means we will do more damage to things and therefore get quicker upgrades. Oh, the game's not going to like this. Yet it did somehow survive, but I think I've made my point. We're going absolutely nowhere quick because the game is so slow. But this was a fun build, lots of area damage. Using this, I think we could build something pretty broken. Items are 30% cheaper, but the main thing, all harvesting modifications are increased by 50%. The downside is we lose all of our materials when we start a new wave, so we need to spend all of our materials every single wave. But that harvesting is going to get so stupid by the end, we're going to make a fortune every single round. The key to success here is basically stacking a bunch of harvesting really early on, so we need to find harvesting like right now, nearly level up ones. So this is where we need to find harvesting right away. If we don't find it here, I gotta restart. There it is, 5 harvesting. And it wouldn't hurt to stack a bunch of support weapons because they also give harvesting. For now we'll take a laser gun because it's anything we can afford. And I am gonna re-roll simply because we're gonna lose our money anyway. I might as well spend it trying to find something here, which I didn't. But we're already up to 7 harvesting, so that means at the end of this round we get 7 materials and XP, and then that adds up 5% every wave. So this one is really about compound interest and the mighty power of it, so pay attention kids. I did get a free item out of this. Hopefully it's something legendary and amazing. We'll see how our luck is doing. $42 to spend. 20 materials when you pick up a crate? Absolutely. I do want harvesting though. There's another 5 harvesting. I'll take an SMG for now because that's just a very good item for me to use. There's another 8 harvesting, which is perfect. I am going to re-roll, and then there's nothing here. I'm going to lock this. I'm probably going to lock this. And maybe that. But our harvesting is only 28. So at the end of this round, we get 28 free materials. And that's going to go on for the next 18 rounds. And that number is going to get really big, so that's just tons of free stuff. I could also use any items that boost my experience gain percent because the harvesting gets us extra experience, so that'll just double up on that. Damage increases are cut in half though, so we're gonna have that extra damage to make that work. Damage is never a problem. I never have a shortage of damage anywhere. 5 luck is tempting. I want harvesting if we can. This is gonna get expensive quickly. We're gonna roll one more time, and we're gonna roll one more time on top of that. And I'm just gonna take 5 harvesting. The earlier we get harvesting going, the better. On this, I'm probably just gonna take 3 max HP because we're gonna need max HP at some point. So I'm also gonna buy this. This also adds harvesting and dodge. Maybe I should take this now. We're gonna lose 1 range damage. We'll make that up later. I'm gonna lock these 2 because I still want them. We'll re-roll because I also want this, and probably that. This is another one of those investment builds. It's going to be a little bit tough to start. So far it's fine, but eventually it's going to be so stupidly overpowered that it runs away on itself. Like the kind that I wish there was an unlimited mode for, because this would just get much stronger every single wave. For now I think I'm going to need to add another weapon, maybe a little bit of damage, because we're killing things, but we need to kill them faster for their items. We can't get by in harvesting alone yet, and we're going to need their pickups, which means adding a lot more damage. But there's 150 materials already, plus 2 range damage. Perfect. Okay, there's a shredder, mostly because 50% chance to cause an explosion, 10% attack speed, 5% attack speed, 2 max HP and all that stuff. I guess 35% materials from recycling, because that's one of the things this character has. So if and when I want to sell stuff, I get extra money for it. Also didn't really find any support items yet, but I did get an extra weapon out of the deal. So our damage should kill a few more things for a little bit more money. And those explosions are going to be nice too. These guys are also weak that the explosions should wipe most of them out within the group, and that's free money, like these guys. Didn't really need it there anyway, but you get the idea. This game really just is too addicting on so many levels. There's a billion fun little builds to try and do, and everything in between them as well. Okay, we naturally made over $100 already, and we're gonna get extra money, 166. Armor is tempting, I'll get that later. Range damage tempting, I'll get that later. We'll take 4% HP regeneration for now, and 2 range damage, so that finally put us up to +1. SMG we'll take, because SMGs are going to be a big part of this. This gives us +6 harvesting. We're going to take that more trees. There's more trees. That's range damage. Nothing going on here. There's a level 2 SMG we're going to get. 3 fire in 1 hit is probably cheap enough. 5% item price. Things are just all the cheaper for us. And there's an even better shredder. So there's the free gun thingy. Harvesting is up to 63. So even if that number stayed stagnant, which it won't over the next 10 runs, that's 630 free materials. But that'll grow 5% each round by itself, and we'll add to it as we go. We will add luck as we can too, because I want to be able to find some rare items. Once we have all that money, it'd be nice if we could just buy level 4 weapons instead of building all the way up to them. Also, I haven't seen a shotgun in quite a while. I'm actually wondering if they removed them from the game. Like, it's been that long. We got 1 tree before we left. $220 to spend already. 5 max HP? Yes. 15 luck is actually really big. We'll take that. Okay, I'm going to combine my SMGs into level 2 into a level 3 SMG. So that's already doing 6 damage. We're going to make items cheaper right away, and then we're going to buy the Shredder, then the Lumberjack. Maybe we'll buy the Wandering Bot. Spawns a little bot that slows down nearby enemies. It's purple, so it's got to be good. Okay, I'm going to lock the pistol down. We don't reroll. 69 harvesting. Wish that number is bigger so far, but we'll see what we can find. That SMG should be really starting to do some work, though. Simply adding range to damage makes SMGs and miniguns really stupid. Because they fire so fast, adding even 1 damage to that puts your DPS through the roof. And that's really the secret to all of my strategies. Just add range damage and get a very fast weapon, and you're pretty much unstoppable. Just don't look at my last 10 runs where they failed horribly. You guys can be better than me, just don't be stupid. Got a free item out of that deal. Money's starting to get pretty good. I wish we could spawn some more enemies. We'd make some more money, and that would just make things much easier. But already we're up to about $300 to spend. Plus 10 crit chance, yes. Plus 5 harvesting, yeah, we'll just take that. Plus 15, oh, there's so many good ones here. I'm going to take the 9 max HP, and then I don't really need to get HP anymore. We'll take 10 luck here. We'll take minus 5 item price. We'll take a level 2 pistol. This one's interesting. We'll lose a bit of harvesting, but we'll gain enemies, which will make us more for now. I like the power generator too, because plus 1 damage for every plus 1 speed you have. That combines 2 things, so we can add speed and add damage all at the same time. Well, since there is an RPG here, I'm going to go ahead and cycle that in, place an RPG in its spot. I'm going to lock this, because I want that next time. We're going to re-roll. Then we're going to take all of these. Not the medical gun, though. We don't need a medical gun. A big blue RPG is a lot of fun. I'm hoping we can turn that into a purple and then a red RPG, and we will eventually. Still want more harvesting, though, too. It's only wave 8, but we need to be into the hundreds of harvesting. Gonna have to add a bit of armor on, because I'm pretty sure armor so low we're taking extra... Yeah, we take 9% extra damage at this point, so that's probably not a great sign. So we'll just not get hit by anything, I guess, and well, whatever. When you're rich, you can buy damage. When you have damage, you don't have to worry about things anyway. $283. There's plus 8 harvesting. I'm simply taking that. We need to keep adding harvesting. 10% attack speed, 1 armor. There's 3 armor and all that, which means we do need to put speed back on. Oh, we can get a hand level 3 actually. So now we get 9 harvesting out of that, which isn't great. But look, if we add 6 support items, we get an extra 25 harvesting. Okay, I'll take an extra laser boost to a better laser gun. We'll take armor for speed right now. We'll put the speed back on fairly easily, but there we go. We have 4 armor now, so we take 30% less damage instead of extra damage. Harvesting jumped up to 97 right now, so we're getting 100 free materials and experience every round for the next 11 rounds. So that's 1100 materials plus 5% compounding interest the whole way. So yeah, this one's gonna get pretty stupid pretty quick. We're just gonna keep stacking damage now. HP is pretty good, armor is fine, like we can just stack damage from here on out, and speed maybe. Or we can just buy whatever stupid things we happen to buy. I don't think we're gonna struggle with this one at all. Some luck wouldn't be bad. We have 25 luck.